Welcome to Flags for Golf. We have helped thousands of charity golf tournaments since 1999. Based on this experience, we know that tournaments that increase the effectiveness of their sponsorship strategy will raise more money. Here's a simplified example. A typical tournament might offer hole sponsors as their base level of sponsorship. Now, for the purposes of this little talk, we're going to assign a unit value of 1 to a hole sponsor because it's the bottom level of sponsorship a tournament offers. Based on our history, we know that the average tournament has 24 hole sponsors. The next level up for sponsorship is typically a contest or activity sponsor. It's kind of like a glorified hole sponsor in that there's something going on that hole, and it gives a chance for a sponsor to write a little bit bigger check and receive recognition as the closest to the pin sponsor or long drive or hole in one or hit the marshmallow. There's all sorts of contest activities that can be sponsored on an individual hole in the golf course. It's not uncommon to see the value of this sponsorship in 3 to 4 times what the hole sponsor is. So if the hole sponsors are unit 1, the contest activity sponsors might be 3 to 4. Now the reason why we're using units is that in some tournaments the hole sponsorship might go for $100. We have tournaments that the hole sponsorship is $10,000. Premium sponsorships are usually standalone sponsorships outside of the actual on-course activity. This could include dinner sponsor, lunch, cocktail, prizes, trophies, events that provide a sponsor with unique standalone recognition. These sponsorships could be offered in the 5 to 7 times the base hole sponsorship level. Major sponsors are the largest contributors you're going to look for underneath your title sponsor. We believe that the best way to attract interest from a sponsor to become a major sponsor is obviously not only to have a great association with your tournament, but provide them with repetitive branding of their sponsorship. So this is the key. Repetitive branding equates to more value for a sponsorship. So 1 unit hole sponsor, that sponsor could expect to receive his logo, at least, full color, incorporated into a nicely designed tee sign that's strategically placed on 1 hole right by the tee markers. The major sponsors, an example would be the pin flag sponsor, where we produce custom pin flags for that sponsor. They have their logo prominently displayed on 18 holes on all the pin flags. What kind of value do you put on that? I mean, is it 18 times a hole sponsor? I would argue that it could be even more than that because of the exclusivity and the uniqueness of that sponsorship. However, pare that back a little bit. What if we were to position that as a value sponsorship in your tournament of 10 times the whole sponsorship? What we want to do is create a tiered sponsorship that will allow sponsors a comfortable fit. Like you may have a sponsor that has been wanting to be a major player, but to this point, you've only offered title and dinner sponsor and then hole sponsors. Well, you're not giving any of those hole sponsors a chance to step up a little bit for some increased recognition. There are lots of companies that don't mind receiving repetitive branding throughout the event. So that's really what separates the major sponsors, in our opinion, from the premiums is that repetitive branding. Each of our major sponsorships offers several ways that they can be sponsored. The first is a sole sponsorship, where one sponsor is the sponsor for all the pin flags. Another option is a co-sponsorship. You may split the flags in half, 9 for one sponsor, 9 for the other. It could be front 9, back 9. It could be every other hole. The third option, which is quite popular, is a tee to green sponsorship. And this is a sponsorship that limits the hole sponsors to 18. And for that, they receive recognition on the tee box and on the green. Basically, the hole's theirs exclusively. These usually provide opportunity for a meet and greet for the sponsor as well. So those 3 kinds of sponsorship are available for all of our major sponsorships. It gives you a really good opportunity to match the sponsor and their budget to the recognition they can receive. Then we come to the title sponsor. Now this sponsor can come into the event a lot of different ways. Obviously, they can start the event. They can be the major contributor of cash, players, bringing sponsors to the table. We love title sponsors, and what better way to help secure them and make them feel like they're part of a great event than to extend these sponsorship opportunities and help the event raise more money. The way we look at a title sponsor should be incorporating the design of every piece of signage in and around the tournament. So the more repetition that you can produce in terms of signage, it obviously gives that title sponsor more and more hits, which, I guess as we said earlier, has more value for a sponsor. We can talk for an hour on each of these, honestly, and I'll probably do videos that will go into more depth with each one of these and then the individual sponsorships between them. But just going back to this sponsorship strategy, the more opportunities you can offer a sponsor, the better chance you can have find the right fit for a sponsor that wants to show off a new product line or wants to have his picture and his dog's picture and all the pin flags, for example. So this is what we believe that a tournament can do without risking anything. There is no cost associated with offering the sponsorships. It's only once you have a sponsor wanting the increased recognition do we produce any signage, at which point you will be raising more money. We have several major sponsorships your committee should at least consider offering. Now, we can provide descriptions of each so you can incorporate it into your sponsorship strategy. Every event is unique. We look forward to discussing yours so we can put forth our best package quote to help your event raise more money. Thanks for your time.